Good morning, and welcome to the 2020 commencement ceremony for the College of Education and Human Services of Montclair State University. For your safety, we ask that you please wear face coverings at all times, stay 6 feet away from those not in your group, and follow instructions from our event staff. Please remain in your places until the conclusion of our brief ceremony. When the ceremony is over, our event staff will release you by sections in order to ensure social distancing, so please follow their instructions. We want you to enjoy this experience, so we also ask you to please silence all electronic devices. And now, will you please welcome the class of 2020 graduates from the College of Education and Human Services. Graduates, please rise as the academic processional will now begin. Ladies and gentlemen, we present the President of Montclair State University, the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, the Dean of the College of Education and Human Services, and University distinguished faculty and staff.
Sorry. Good morning, everybody. Nice to have the sun out on us. Welcome. Please be seated, graduates. I'm Dr. Tamara Lucas, Dean of the College of Education and Human Services at Montclair State University, and it is my great pleasure to welcome to the podium the President of Montclair State University, Dr. Susan A. Kolb.
Welcome, welcome, graduates, guests, faculty, staff, to the 2020 undergraduate commencement exercises for the College of Education and Human Services at Montclair State University. Please rise for the national anthem. You will hear it being sung by Liz Belkis Santana, who sang it, and it was recorded at last year's 2019 commencement ceremony when she graduated.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glared, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
seated. Hello, graduates. It is very, very good to see you in person on your university campus again. We promised that we would celebrate your achievements as soon as the governor said it was safe enough to gather in person, and here we are at last. These several months have been a difficult time for you and for us. We have marveled at your tenacity and resilience in the face of adversity, and we are proud of all that you have accomplished in your time at Montclair State University, including this last semester when you did not let the pandemic keep you from reaching your goal. As we gather for this most unusual commencement ceremony, we are buoyed by the bountiful energy and potential of the graduates whose achievements will be marked by the conferral of their degrees today. As events of the last few months have shown, you are entering a world that has many important economic, social, environmental, governmental, and public health issues in urgent need of attention. And today you join the next class of citizens prepared by your education to make a meaningful contribution to the hard work it takes to build a peaceful, prosperous, equitable, and just society. The education you have acquired has been in part to enable you to become the person you want to be in this world, but only in part. Its purpose has also been to enable you to become the kind of citizen that our nation and the world needs. The role of public universities such as Montclair State is critical to sustaining a free and democratic society. For to be a responsible and contributing citizen in a democracy takes preparation and it takes education. You have had the privilege of that education, and many people have worked hard to make that privilege possible for you, including your faculty and advisors at the university, your family and friends who are so proud of you, and many people who you will never know, fellow citizens whose taxes help support your education, and generous alumni and donors who shared what they had to support scholarships and make educational resources available to the university for you. And now it's up to you, and you must let nothing stand between you and your future. You must have courage. In this time of fear, you must be brave. You must have courage, and you must never give up on yourself. I'd like to take a moment to pause so that we can remember together some of your fellow students whose lives were cut short, who would have been graduating with you, and who will never have that chance. Let us remember together Pierre Puente de la Vega, Quarren Gwaltney, Griffin Klaus, Christian Niles, Michaela Powell, and Jeremy Thompson. And I think it is also important to acknowledge and send our best wishes to 14 of your fellow undergraduate students who were called away from their studies and their families this year to serve on the front lines of the National Guard's COVID-19 response, serving at hospitals, nursing homes, testing centers, and helping to build field hospitals. They are Edith Argueta, Melissa Castelli, Marcos de Leon, Mercedes Flores, Daniel Herrera, Christopher Lango, Lucian Lloyd, Nolan Muganda, Alicia Pierre, Nicholas Ritter, Anthony Steiner, James Suarez, Diego Tanaka, and Victoria Viejo. We thank those fellow Red Hawks for their service to the people of this nation, and we wish together that they will be able to return safely to the campus soon. Class of 2020, you have been called the class of COVID. But as I have said before, you are not the virus. You are the cure. You are the cure. Now more than ever, the world needs bright, committed, well-prepared people who can take on the immense challenges we are facing. Your education at Montclair State has prepared you for this moment. I have watched you with pride and have seen that you have not been brought down by this crisis. On the contrary, you have been strengthened by it. You have learned from it. You have been toughened by it. And you are readier than ever to go out and make your way in this world and fulfill your hopes and your dreams. At this time, before we go on with the ceremony, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the many, many staff and a team of students as well who have volunteered today as ushers, greeters, coordinators that planned and developed this event so that we could bring this day to you, the day you've been waiting for, safely. We could not have done it without them. Thank you, Montclair State staff, students, and faculty who helped. And now I turn our ceremony over to Dean Lucas.
Thank you, President Cole. Good morning. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the College of Education and Human Services, I'm very pleased to welcome you to the 2020 commencement ceremony for our graduates. Before I turn to you, graduates, I want to first welcome the families and friends who are here to celebrate the graduates. I know that many of you have made important sacrifices and have provided many types of support and encouragement to make this day possible. So I want to thank you and congratulate you for your role in the success of the graduates here today. I also want to acknowledge that I know many of you are missing some important people in your lives who you would like to be here with you today. I'm sure some families and friends are not able to be here because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Some may be ill or at high risk of attracting the virus, and some may not have been able to travel to New Jersey. We are all missing them, but I know they are all proud of your accomplishments, and I sincerely hope you will be able to celebrate safely with all of them at some time in the near future. And finally, I want to acknowledge the faculty and staff of the College of Education and Human Services. Those who are not able to be here today send their regrets that they can't celebrate this important event with you. I know they have provided you with an excellent education and have also provided support in many ways as you have pursued the degrees you are receiving today. They send their congratulations. Now I want to turn to you, graduates. In a few minutes, each of you will walk across the stage and have your name called out. It's a special moment, very special. You've dedicated years of hard work toward your education, and today is the formal culmination of all that work. And I know it feels great. I hope you feel especially proud that you've been able to persevere through the COVID-19 semester, as President Cole mentioned. The fact that you graduated during this very challenging time makes your success even more impressive. It shows your resilience in facing and overcoming challenges, and that resilience will serve you very well throughout your life. Each one of you has a unique set of aspirations and dreams and accomplishments, and each of you traveled your own road to get to this point. I know that all of you probably have faced some challenges along the way. They might have been financial or personal, family related. Lately, they might have been health related in particular, but they did not stop you. You did it. And I hope you can acknowledge that and feel proud of yourselves for doing that. As graduates of the College of Education and Human Services, all of you have accepted a calling to contribute to the well-being of society. That's what we do in the College of Education and Human Services. Through outstanding academic programs, with nationally recognized faculty who are also great teachers, you've been well prepared to contribute to the ability of others to improve their lives. And I know that you will be changing lives in your careers. And again, as President Cole said, you're needed more than ever at this time. New Jersey, the United States, and the world need your knowledge, your skills, your commitment, your energy, and your compassion. Now it's up to you to take what you've learned here at Montclair State University and go out there and make a difference. As a graduate of the College of Education and Human Services, I trust that each of you will accept this challenge with enthusiasm and will work to fulfill our college mission to create a healthier, better educated, more just society. And don't forget us. Keep in touch through your faculty, your friends, and through our alumni office. You're now a Red Hawk forever. I wish each of you a life of good health, joy, fulfillment, and success. Congratulations. And now please welcome your classmate and public health major, Fatimata Diabate.
Good morning, class of 2020, families and friends. My name is Fatimata Diabate. In other words, Fatmata Jabate. I am the daughter from the lands of the Ivory Coast in West Africa. When I was just 8 years old, I left my parents' homeland to come to the United States. My academic preparation was very poor. I had a lot of catching up to do, but I had a mission to succeed in life, something powerful inside of me that always kept me moving forward. I didn't know what it was for a very long time, but I've come to recognize it as resilience. It was resilience that opened the door to Montclair State University for me back in 2015, after I initially did not get accepted. I called admissions and asked, why? What can I do to better myself and to become a stronger candidate? The woman I spoke to said, no student had ever called to ask, how? How can they better their future? She said, let me call EOF, the Educational and Opportunity Fund Program. Let me see what I can do for you. She called me back and said that they accepted me. To this day, I don't know who that woman was, but she was the first of many miracles in my life since coming to MSU. I entered Montclair State University that year full of fear. I was the first person in my family to ever step foot on the college campus. But I was determined to receive a college education and was prepared to do whatever it took. As I reflect on my college experience, I think of the well-known phrase, it takes a village to raise a child. For when I first came to the College of Education and Human Services, I was indeed a child, without a clue, lacking important academic skills. And now, as I stand in front of you, I am a young lady. I am a young woman with the help of professors, advisors, deans, fellow students, and so many others, and a lot of hard work, has found her voice, has learned to trust her thoughts, and has a lot to say. From the woman in the missions who took a chance on me, to the countless of people who has helped me when I needed it, this college has rewarded my resilience. To my fellow graduates, we each have a story to tell about how we got to this moment. Whether you were the kid who lived off of food stamps, or the kid who has never experienced any economic hardships, but has to overcome other barriers, you have a story to tell. Never let anyone tell you otherwise. And as we move on to the next chapters of our lives, let us continue to, let us continue to seek our own inner strength and be open to accepting help from others. The world can seem pretty scary, especially at this moment. But remember, none of us should have to go it alone. Together, we have indescribable powers. Never forget to speak up or speak out. Let us use our college degrees to shape the narrative of our future journeys and those who come behind us and who will also need a village of their own. Class of 2020, I can't wait to see what's next for us. Congratulations again, Class of 2020. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And now I will turn the podium over to Provost Willard Gingrich to begin with the ceremony for the conferral of degrees.
President Cole, it is my privilege to report to you that the candidates here assembled who have successfully completed the curricula offered by the College of Education and Human Services of Montclair State University have been so certified by the university registrar, and they are recommended by the faculty to be awarded bachelor's degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments. I would also note that a number of these candidates have also completed their certifications to teach. You will notice that some of our students have gold tassels on their mortarboards, signifying that they are graduating cum laude with honors, magna cum laude with high honors, and summa cum laude with highest honors. Will those undergraduates who are graduating with honors and the families of these undergraduates please rise to be recognized? Your family, your friends, and fellow students join me in applauding your success. Congratulations. You may be seated.
President Cole, it now gives me great pleasure to introduce the members of the 2020 graduating class. Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree please come forward to receive your individual acknowledgement? While you wait to cross the stage, please keep at least 6 feet of distance between you and those around you, and slide your name card through the slot in the plexiglass barrier to our reader. For health and safety reasons, we cannot shake hands this year, but we certainly applaud your achievements.
Marissa Pochillo. Candice Boyle. Christina Danielle Natoli. Johanny Abril Martinez. Henry Alexander Rojas Ariza. Natalie Sarah Walden. Melanie Muino. Tara Michelle Levy. Shelby Nicole Labar. Ariane Garcia. Melissa Danielle Rennie. Emily Grace Carrier. Adriana Natalie Pinheiro. Mia Funchin. Lauren Kylie Winfo. Oluwajoba Janelle Odederon. Kayla Patricia Totsi. Jessica Gilmore. Megan Elizabeth Salmeri. Jasmine Alexa Pareja. Narissa Krishna Pameshwar. Anna Nicole Aiello. Nicole Christine Sauter. Cheyenne Star Esser. Cheyenne Thomas. Joanne Florence Sidoti. Jacqueline M. Kittenberg. Lisa Raed Alan. Elizabeth Victoria Perez Vega. Ruthie Fee Nguentran. Girukumare B. Fafundi. Michelle Golbari. Renard Rafe Ahmad. Paula Alice Muthikwa Molanza. Christina Gabriela Frasso. Leah Marie Pronesti. Ashley Ann Vitello. Alexis Ballardino. Jessica Sidney Mucci. Taylor C. Lampert. Lauren Elizabeth Kyle. Michael Starr Thomas. Cassidy Ray Starr. Kelly Ann Pettit. Kelly Ann Hughes. Carla Mateo. Catherine Isabel Peterson. Stephanie Soriano. Kayla Marie Ferreira. Danielle Witchick. Anna Jane E. Allen. Rachel Elizabeth McNamara. Christopher Robert Rota. Abby Diana Winget. Emily Marie Kashak. Brianna Noel Lewis. David Andrew Reich. Alyssa Michelle Ditkowski. Rosabrina Latetza. Rebecca Brittany Edelstein. Vivian Cabreja. Chase Nicole Sindoni. Alexis Kelly DeMarkwell. Therese Ann Espiritu Baluyat. Rabab Ibrahim Fardos. Veronica Rodriguez. Fatima Ashili. Sarah M. Imara. Ashley Marie Marquez. Yvonne Priscilla Jaramillo. Shashista N. Iqbal. Bahia K. Awauda. Maria Jose Polanco. Savannah Alberta Ross. Melissa Adela Cruz. Leslie Rodriguez. Miret Rafiq Mikhail. Michael Salvatore Palladino. And Marissa Ann Palladino.
And now, will all the candidates for the bachelor's degree please rise? And will the families of the bachelor's candidates please rise with your graduates? President Cole, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science.
Thank you, Dean Lucas. Everybody ready? Is this the right moment? I'm going to take that as a yes. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of New Jersey and the Board of Trustees of Montclair State University, and in recognition of your achievement in fulfilling the curricula prescribed, I confer upon you as earned the designated bachelor's degree with all the rights, duties, privileges, and immunities thereunto appertaining, of which the diploma is the written witness. Congratulations, graduates. I'll ask the provost to join me at the podium to conduct the undergraduate tassel ceremony. When the provost signals with the mace, you will move your tassel from the right side to the left side of your mortarboard. Ready? And there it is. It's official now. Please be seated. This concludes the Montclair State University commencement exercises for the College of Education and Human Services. I would ask everyone to please remain seated until the recessional is complete. Graduates, when it is time for you to recess, please remember to stay 6 feet apart and follow all the instructions as you exit Sprague Field. To our guests, thank you so much for joining us today. It is an enormous pleasure to us to be able to welcome all of you to our campus for this moment with your graduates. To everyone, please stay safe, stay brave, and congratulations.